urban renewal is really the definition of those corridors in our country that are going to be the spaces we open up to the local and to the tourist. Urban renewal is so fresh and new that the first thing we're doing is, well, I've actually taken an urban renewal expert from HAJ and brought her into my office to help now with the CTD to build out the framework of urban renewal. So when you ask the question, what is it? You know, people say, well, you know, revitalizing spaces, building out the corridors, you know, fixing the zinc fences, or changing rather the zinc fences and making the place look good. It's much more than that. Urban renewal, like the housing policy that I discussed before, must now transition towards a thinking of creating this sustainable space, right? And making sure that you're looking into the introduction of smart technology. How is the space going to look and why? Why do we want Kingston to look this way? What is the projection for Kingston? Is it a tourism area? Is it a commercial area? You have to ask. So in my own reading, it causes you to really define urban renewal, to ask some very critical and intricate questions of where you are and what you intend to be. And so urban renewal is really the definition of those corridors in our country that are going to be the spaces we open up to the local and to the tourist sectors. And we seek to advance it first by structuring a unit. So we are going to now be seeking support from the Ministry of Finance to have approval for an actual urban renewal unit to be structured.
So you're going to need a budget for that aspect?
Yes, man, and you will help me to qualify it. Let's get to this. We need to, because we have to get architects in. You see, one of the difficulties is that we have not properly planned. And so we focus our attention sometimes on things that are important, forgetting things that are just as important, like building a road without a drain.
Minister.
Don't open a can of worms, but that's what it is. So urban renewal is that drain. So you have to. So we're making the linkages between all of the portfolio areas that are critical. And let's just say this: we've met with UDC, right? Because UDC now, Urban Development Corporation, even though they've been doing a lot more than that, they're real estate owners and other things. They have a plan to look on the parks across the country in terms of green spaces. You asked that question, I didn't answer it fully. We intend from the ministry now to be working with organizations like UDC to help them in defining those programs, those policies. So we may not be the ones that are actual implementers, but we want to be the ones that are managing the structuring of urban renewal framework in the country. The policies, the laws, the programs, the incentives that will encourage you and other persons in particular spaces to create the kind of corridor that we need for Jamaica. What I can tell you is that there is across the world several examples of spaces where governments have made a deliberate approach successfully at complete renewal, which includes not just how it looks, but how it is structured, how it is operated. As you said, reducing not just traffic, but reducing emissions by introducing eco-mobility, tramways, different things. Our goal at this ministry is to challenge other ministries. And so we, after we set up our committee and get things moving, we'll be bringing the ideas and the innovation to the table to extract what can work in our jurisdiction and to identify the best way to connect the dots between, as I said to you, ensuring that urban renewal is aligned to climate change agenda, ensuring that urban renewal advances the green agenda in terms of putting trees, but not just trees, what kind of trees and where. Right? We need to have a certain type of vegetation on the side of the hill to reduce landslide, and a certain type of vegetation throughout our traffic spaces that we know won't break up the road. So it's about, I'll boil it down to this. Not just urban renewal, but the entire ministry has to move to a space where we make, I always say it, smart, sensible, sustainable decisions. That's what it is. Towards sustainable communities and sustainable cities. We have to have smart, sensible, sustainable decisions. And that's our responsibility now in terms of pulling on all of the variables, pulling on all of the stakeholders, trying to identify people in the diaspora who have particular skill sets. I've reached out recently to a friend in Canada who is an urban renewal expert, Jamaican, who wants to help. Come, let's pull on your expertise and see how we can help to define or redefine the way we move forward as a country.